Picture this: a man stands on a rocky cliff by the ocean, sunlight crashing behind him. He's wrestling with a question that haunts every guy at some point. How do I live fully, love deeply, and yet stay true to who I really am? David Deida drops you into a world where masculinity isn't about power over others, but power within, raw and untamed. What if your purpose, your relationships, and your very being are all connected in a dance you've never fully learned? Let's crack open that code and unlock what it means to be a superior man. Every superior man lives by a purpose bigger than himself, but it's not a paycheck or a title. It's a burning inner drive that pulls him forward. Understanding this distinction can change your life, but first, let's see how purpose looks in real action. Jai was a software engineer stuck in his cubicle, going through the motions at a mid-tier firm in Seattle. One day, after a heated argument with his girlfriend about feeling lost, he decided to quit. Not just his job, he quit his old life. He bought a one-way ticket to Bali and started a surf school, not for the money, but to feel alive again. His purpose didn't pay bills at first, but it pulled him out of the void, and everything shifted. That question still hangs: how far would you go to live your purpose? Think of purpose like a magnet buried deep inside you. It's invisible but exerts a steady force, pulling you through storms, distractions, and temptation. When your actions align with that unseen magnet, life feels effortless, even when it's hard. Just as iron filings circle a compass needle without force, your daily choices orbit your core purpose naturally. Miss that magnet, and you're drifting, scattered like loose filings on a table. Here's the kicker: when Jai embraced his purpose wholeheartedly, he found freedom. Freedom not as a reckless escape, but the power to say no to what doesn't serve him. Purpose anchors you, but liberates you at the same time. It turns anxiety into presence and confusion into clarity, like the tide turning sharply on that cliff where we began. Living as a superior man means walking your edge, where growth and fear collide. It's that razor's edge between comfort and chaos, and most guys avoid it. But lean in, and the reward is incandescent vitality. Let's unpack this electrifying truth. Mark was a dance teacher in San Francisco, teaching other men how to move, but refusing to dance his own life fully. One cold night after a blowout fight with his partner, he impulsively jumped on his motorcycle and roared through the city streets. That ride cut through his numbness like a knife. At 3 a.m., headlights silhouetted rain on the pavement, and he realized acutely he'd been running from the rawness inside himself. His edge was no abstract idea. It was an actual pulse pounding beneath his skin. The edge is like surfing the crest of a wave. Too far back and you're swallowed by the deep safety of the past, too far forward and you wipe out in chaos. The superior man learns to balance exactly here, where the water tingles with energy, alive with possibility. Living on your edge isn't reckless, it's intentional surfing, perfectly tuned to life's wild rhythm. Mark's midnight awakening wasn't just about thrill, it pushed him to open emotionally, speak truth, and embrace vulnerability. That edge forced growth. When you stop avoiding discomfort, it turns into your clearest teacher. Here's the twist: discomfort isn't the enemy, it's your gateway to more aliveness, deeper intimacy, and authentic masculinity. Relationships aren't about fixing or conquering, but a dynamic dance between masculine and feminine energies. Understanding this dance will transform how you love, but it's tricky, because it's subtle, fluid, and often unconscious. David recounts a dinner with an older Zen master who taught him to notice the invisible dance between his own tough masculine presence and the softness his partner radiated. Sitting among flickering candles, he saw tension melted by timing and attention. The master said, "The masculine is the pole, unwavering and grounded. The feminine flows and moves around it." This moment wasn't theory, it was a living, breathing lesson. But could David keep dancing without stepping on toes? Picture the masculine as a sturdy tree trunk, solid, rooted, and strong. The feminine is like a river weaving fluidly around it, constantly changing yet dependent on the tree's strength to shape its path. The better the masculine holds firm, the more naturally the feminine flows. Once you get this metaphor, relationship conflicts start to look less like battles and more like choreography. When David integrated this awareness into his relationship, conflict transformed into creation. He found that resisting the feminine's waves only created storms, but leaning into the dance brought harmony and magnetism. The superior man isn't rigid. He knows when to stand still and when to move, and that mastery creates fertile ground for love to deepen. The superior man doesn't kid himself that he's all light and love. Darkness, shadow impulses, raw desire, they're part of the package. Owning that side is terrifying but necessary for true integrity and power. Brett sat sweaty and tense in a tiny therapy room in New York, confessing his darkest impulses: jealousy, rage, even fleeting violence. Most men bury that side and fake calm, but Brett's honesty startled his therapist. Instead of condemnation, she challenged him to sit with those feelings, to channel them not into destruction but strength. Brett's breakthrough wasn't about erasing shadows but integrating them. The question lingering is, can you stare down your own darkness without blinking? Think of shadow as a volcano beneath your calm exterior, dormant but simmering with potent energy. Denying it's there is like pretending the volcano won't erupt and only causes harm. But smart men learn to harness that molten core, redirecting heat into a forge of creativity, courage, and protection rather than chaos and shame. When Brett embraced his dark side consciously, he discovered that his presence deepened. His magnetism seemed to sharpen. Others felt the power radiating not from being good, but from being whole. The superior man isn't a saint or a hero. He's a raw force of nature grounded in conscious choice, ready to storm or stand still. Finally, the big reveal. Love isn't just feeling warm fuzzies or solving problems. It's a practice, raw, messy, demanding, and the ultimate source of power. This isn't your average self-help fluff. It's a challenge and a gift. Every morning, David spends 15 minutes holding his partner's gaze, no words, no distractions, just presence. He calls it their love calibration, a simple but radical ritual that resets their connection daily. This practice drops them into the present moment, dissolving resentments before they form. That level of intentional love isn't easy, but it's what keeps their bond electric after years together, proof that love needs tending like a garden, not just luck. Love, Deida argues, is the ultimate dance of consciousness. It's the act of choosing presence, vulnerability, and honesty even when it feels risky. Think of love as a powerful current beneath a calm river, mostly invisible but strong enough to reshape everything it touches if you lean in. Without conscious effort, love gets diluted into complacency or worse, frustration. The payoff? Couples like David and his partner don't just weather storms. They transform pain, boredom, and betrayal into fuel for greater intimacy. Love becomes a feedback loop of growth and deepening, a superpower that redefines what it means to be a superior man and a connected human being. It's messy, it's hard, and it's absolutely worth it. Remember our man on the cliff? His power wasn't some macho pose. It was rooted in purpose that pulled him, edge that made him feel alive, and love that challenged and transformed him. The way of the superior man isn't a rulebook for perfect behavior. It's your invitation to live fully, embrace the discomfort, and love with both strength and tenderness. Try this tonight. Identify your compass, your core purpose, and hold it closer than comfort. Watch how that one step shifts everything around you. Subscribe for more book summaries like this one.